All right, good morning, everybody. To our final Met PGA Winter Education Series event here. I want to thank the Golf Club of Purchase, Kirk Satterfield, and Carl Alexander for hosting this great event here today. This is our 7th out of 7 in our series today. And this is kind of the After the PGA Show forum. This originally was scheduled back in February, but we've got, today it's kind of get your game geared up for the season, talking about latest and greatest, as well as talking about all the things that we saw at the PGA Show. But we've got a little panel of golf professionals here today that are going to give you some great ideas and great thoughts to get your game geared up. And we're also going to dive into the USGA proposed rules that are dialed in for 2019. Pretty a lively discussion there, I'm sure, as well. So just want to thank, we've got Andrew Gruss is going to come up here and speak in a moment. We've got some audio-visual components of this. We're going to have Heath Wassam discuss our rules. And then we've got VPAR here, going to discuss their tournament software and how it can help you as a golf professional. And then to cap it off, we're going to talk about some great new instructional aids. A few of you see here, we've got some really neat things to get your mind going. And you may already be giving lessons in the winter in your facilities. So we've got some neat things there as well. But for me, when I went to the PGA Show, kind of around the PGA Show time, it's kind of when we start thinking about golf. And I was lucky enough, I played in Pro-Am at Streamsong. Down there near Orlando, picked up some really nice goodies down there. They put on a really great Pro-Am, and things like head covers from Winston Golf, really nice embroidered head covers there. A little golf log, golf journal, personalized. Today's we'll talk about a lot of great gifts and a lot of things that, you might like to have for your men's member guest and ladies events and whatnot. So, it's kind of a good way to get our mind geared up for that if you haven't already purchased those items. And then one of my favorites was the Seamus Golf is a really cool company out of Portland. A man named Akbar Kisti is the head out there. They do some really nice tartan, valuable pouches, head covers. I actually got this at the Philadelphia Cricket Club a couple of years ago for the PGA Club Pro event, and within there, this is a cool little flask for a nice winter day. So really nice personalized gifts that we got at Streamsong. So that was a really fun event. Great place. But a couple other things I found there. Signs by the Sea. A lot of people know that company. They had some new little trinkets, a little divot tool that you can use. Last year we even got this for the Squire Cup. They do nice bag tags, nice personalized wooden old school bag tags, and really neat. Evolve Golf has got, they did a cool little thing for our GBN seminar, little personalized tee pack with with logo tees and whatnot in here. Just a nice little inexpensive giveaway for you. And then we've got one of my favorites. This is maybe more along the lines of a gag gift, but these are this company is called Shoe Tips. You can give this to your ladies or your men. These are little things that actually pop off, and they actually attach. This is like a little bag tag, and it attaches to your shoelaces on your shoes. So if you're remembering to commit and trust to your swing, put it right on your shoes. If you're wanting to make sure you visualize your game, you could put that on your shoes. They have like 30 different things you could put on your shoes. So I thought that was actually kind of funny, but maybe very useful for some. And you could probably make up your own as well. And then one other cool little thing that I picked up along the way, I'm lucky enough to know a guy named Bob Ford, who's the pro at Seminole. He just retired from Oakmont. And this is a great thing for the professionals out there if you want to kind of bond with your current and former assistant professionals. Bob did a cool little head cover, and he put an Oakmont and a Seminole logo on it, maybe a couple of the best logos in golf, and with a little alumni sign on here. Really cool thing. He gave this to all his alumni. So I thought that was a really cool bonding gift. But anyway, lots of cool stuff. Maybe get you some ideas. These things I got at StreamSong also were also some great giveaways that you can travel with, right? If you're for your member guests and you got guests coming from out of town and you don't want to give them a big golf bag or any, a big framed art or anything, these little small items, they go a long way, and they're very easy to pack in your suitcase. So you can also keep that in mind as you purchase these gifts through the year. But anyway, without further ado, we're gonna have Andrew Gruss come up here from Greenwich Golf Club and talk about some of the latest and greatest in apparel, equipment, some more accessories, some more things, even some nutrition maybe to get you fueled up for the game. So, Andrew?
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Kirk, Carl, for having us. I was going to start by kind of going over my approach to the show, just to give you an idea of what it's like. I came up under Sam Wiley, so we always had a schedule for the show, items we had to cover. Kind of key on that list was new ideas and favors to pitch to the golf committee for the annual member guest. If your ladies member guest does a favor, same type of thing, try to put together a small little packet of ideas, 3 to 5 different ideas. Generally, we try to do them non-sized. As we all know, that's the hardest part of getting sizing for those events, but always trying to find the new and different. So for my staff, we end up with a long schedule for the whole show between appointments, which each year I kind of move around how many I do, and then walking the entire show floor to see all the booths, whether it be apparel, accessories, equipment, teaching aids, just making sure that for those 3 days we get to see all of it. So it's a pretty jam-packed time frame. I then speak to all of you, all my brethren, to try to find out what did you see that I missed. A couple of guys I talked to at the show or right after, James Ondo and Mike Diffley, they did some PGA education this year that I've never done. I've done Titleist education, I've done opponent group education, but they did some PGA of America education, and they said they went into it, they weren't sure how great it was going to be, and they came out of it saying in future years they will definitely be doing at least a seminar each year, if not more. James did 3, and he said that the education was actually invaluable, and he was pleasantly surprised on how good a job the PGA of America did. So wanted to give them a little tip of the cap there. Another thing I do is I carry around this book at the show, and when I go by a booth, if I talk to a rep or someone there, if they've got a good idea or something that catches my eye, I make a note. Might write down the price point. Right off the bat, kind of the first booth I saw was Jones Bags. They had a great duffel bag with a great price point. It was something that could fit in really easy as a favor, whether it be the annual member guest. So one day, wrote down the note, wrote down a contact, so that when I got back, I could very quickly talk to someone and also have some good idea of what the dollar numbers were we're working with. So this is something I carry around for the whole show. Everything I see, if I walk in, see Kirk, and he says, I just saw this great idea, I write it down. So I keep that with me. Then we're going to go down a list. We've got some videos here of some different items that we went through. I have a TrackMan at Greenwich. TrackMan has a new piece of software that they just released at the show, their putting software. So we have a video on that. So if we're going to run that.
A great product is defined by its ability to be technically superior and versatile, yet to come across as remarkably simple to use. Developed on TrackMan 4's powerful dual radar tracking technology, performance putting has entered a new era of how we practice, analyze, and understand this critical part of the game. Building on our legacy to deliver the best data in golf, we've defined new parameters that allow amateurs and professionals to measure their putting performance. Comparable to a full swing analysis, you can now connect and validate your inner senses of feel with your putting stroke. We spent more than a decade researching and perfecting ball flight tracking. No one does that better than us. And today, The very best tour players, coaches, golf equipment manufacturers, and major broadcasters all use and trust our technology. Tracking putts, however, was always part of the plan. That's why we developed the versatile dual radar technology. One radar dedicated to capturing long-range data, and another ultra-high frequency radar committed to tracking only short-range data from chips and putts. Two radar systems in one unit, delivering accurate data from tee to green, one stroke at a time. Similar to an iron shot, you want to know the full journey of the ball. From start to finish, the entire putt. These first-generation data points include everything you need to know to track the ball all the way. Performance parameters include launch direction, ball speed, skid distance, roll percentage, and total distance. You can even measure the stimp or speed of the green. With these new insights, you have a great arsenal of knowledge to progress faster than ever before. With the TrackMan 4's internal camera, you can also use video for even deeper analysis. Synced in time and space, the combination of video and the dual radar system provide you with extremely accurate and actionable information. Add as many as 6 iPhone cameras to capture additional angles and navigate between intuitive data and video dashboards to get the full overview and understanding of any putting stroke. Track full swings and entire putts with just one TrackMan and start unleashing your potential today.
So TrackMan, they keep coming out with new and different things. I think that this will be a great piece of technology for anybody that has a TrackMan, a TrackMan 4. At this point, I think that it's a little new for me to upgrade. I have a TrackMan 3 to a 4 because I just don't think we have enough data and really to use it for me to invest in that upgrade. But I think that probably if we're having this discussion next year, I'll probably jump in. I think that we just need to get more time with the machine, with the technology. The discussions I had, Jeff Viola is my rep. I think that he's learning it too, so I think that's kind of the hard part right now is Frederick really gets it. I think that everybody else is trying to creep up there, but I think that it'll eventually be quite good. Another one that kind of couples with that is Blast Motion, which John Hobbins is here. He spoke about this at a previous seminar. My staff, we're getting involved with Blast Motion with John. We think it's great. We think it's probably one of the most cost-efficient pieces of technology out there. The information it gives you, it's either as simple or as detailed as you want it to be. I'm not going to try to talk you through all the details of it. John does a far better job than I could, but I would recommend contacting John for either a demo of Blast Motion or to get more information if you haven't already. Going to keep going kind of in the technology equipment side. Directed force putters. I know they were a new launch at the show in 2016. This year they did some new pieces of information with softening the face a little bit. So I think that the company I think they do a really good job with their shaft lean, with the putter grip. I think if you can get people to get past the design of the head, it's quite a good putter. I think Matt Dobbins could talk about it. He's made a couple putts with it over the last year. But I think if you can get it in people's hands and get them to get past the whole visual, I think you can sell some. I had Craig Moyer come to my place and do a demo day in the morning. We sold a handful of putters that morning with people trying it. The first reaction is always, whoa, it looks like a spaceship, something like that. But once they start hitting putts and they get comfortable with the visual, it kind of sells itself. The grip is my favorite part of it. You can see it there. I think it sits great in the hand. So it's really just getting past the whole visual aspect.
I think the cool thing about that putter is the fact that you can stick the ball in the back of the notch of the putter, and you can do some drills with it,
Yep.
which is kind of unique. Yeah, you can scoop it up. You can scoop it up really easily too.
With the back of the putter, there's a couple different drills you can do with 2 balls in the back for a tempo aspect. You can put one in the middle. That again helps with the stroke. So they definitely put a lot of thought into the design. I'd recommend people go to the site and watch the videos about the putter, about why it works and why you should look into it.
Andrew, one
Yes.
thing on that, the revealer,
Correct.
That was very helpful for us here in selling. Once people see it in a revealer.
Correct. Yeah, it's great. I have a revealer. It's a tool that you put a putter on it, it kind of hooks on the end of it, and you just, if you swing it like this, you'll see the putter face rotate all over the place, and then you put the directed force in there, and it doesn't. So I have one of those set up with a putter right next to the putter setup in my shop where I've got 30, 40 putters, and instantly you get a conversation with someone because they go, "What's that thing?" So here's a little promo video.
Hi, I'm Bill Pressey, inventor and co-founder of Directed Force Putters and Press Grips. I'd like to introduce you to Directed Force Putters, the first lie angle balanced putter on the market. Existing putters, which we call face balancing, so if you lay them across a table, the face points straight up to the sky. There's other putters that are slightly toe down. A face balanced putter is advertised to be square back, square through, and balanced to do so. The fact is that when you put a face balanced putter in a playing position, it opens up. That's a fundamental problem that applies unnecessary torque to your grip. I invented directed force putters to stay straight by themselves. I'd like to introduce the revealer, a tool I invented to show how a putter balances when you're not touching it. This is a tool that allows a putter to spin freely in a putting stroke in a lie angle plane without your hands touching it. This is what we call a face balanced putter. When I swing it up and down, the head is stable. When I go side to side, it's unstable. But a face balanced putter is advertised to stay straight, straight back, straight through. Here's what happens. That's not staying straight. I paid for a straight back, straight through putter.
So that revealer, like Mike said, is great. It's a conversation starter just when people see it in the shop because they're not sure what it is. But it's just like Bill showed in the video, it's great. One of the areas that I spend a lot of time at the show is in the apparel arena. It's a chance for me to see a number of vendors in one place and really get an idea for my summer and fall buying. Generally that's who you're seeing at the show. Some companies will have their spring lines, but it's generally summer, fall. So I set a few appointments and then I set a lot of open time just to walk through booths, touch the different pieces, see how they can mix in. The first one on my list that I always have an appointment with just because they're big in my shop is Peter Millar. Again, their line looked great this year. They've expanded. They're getting a little bit into some more lifestyle with a little bit more of a workout gear for men, so they're kind of dabbling into that market. They continue to expand their off-course with jackets and sweaters. So if you do holiday business, this is a great way that you can just add on to what we would say is just golf apparel, golf shirts, where it's hard to continually sell more and more of those each year. A couple new companies in the last year that I've gotten to know quite well is one is Grayson. That's Charlie Schaefer, used to be the lead designer for Polo RLX. He branched off, started his own line. Local guy, really does a great job. If you see Morgan Hoffman playing on tour, another local guy, he wears Grayson. Looks good on Morgan. He's got the body for it for sure, but it's a great piece. It's just like RLX, very fashionable. Another one is Holderness and Bourne, a couple of local guys from the city, Yale grads who have started the line. They do almost all their stuff in America. They just recently had to outsource their shirts overseas, but they do business right here in New York and in New Jersey, so it's a great little way to support back home. And they're great guys, easy to work with. They're trying to grow their business, so they'll work with you with whatever you're trying to do. They
look similar to, is it in the Peter Millar category sort of thing?
They've done something that's different that they've really put a lot into their materials and their collar. So if you get them to come by your shop, which they will, just give them a call or shoot them an email. If you need their contact info, let me know. Their collar is different than anything I've seen. It's really great. The shirt hangs well. It's got a little more body than some of the other pieces, so I think that it's just a little different, and it gives you kind of that mix within the shop instead of everything being the same hand and feel. So I'd reach out and talk to those guys.
What kind of price point would that be similar to in things that we know?
It's in the same price point you're looking about. If you keystone your items with a logo, they're going to be right around a $90 shirt, similar to where a Malar or Polo RLX is going to be in that 85 to 95 area at a full keystone. Another company that I've done business with for the last few years is Shoes. It started as a ski wear. It's a high-end outerwear. It's kind of where they transitioned into golf. Now they're fully immersed with golf shirts and shorts and pants. It's great. It's pretty fast forward, cutting edge. The fit with Greenwich Country Club at times can be a little racy because they do more colors than blue. But our membership loves it. They know it from ski, which they're well known, world renowned in ski. But their transition into golf has been great. The company's great to work with. They're very easy. They're gung ho. So if you've got the clientele for it, it is a higher price point. I would reach out and talk to them. Again, I can give you some contact information, but they've been great for me and my staff and my membership. Kind of going into the what I call miscellaneous area, which this is always a big one for me with outings. We all have outings. They always want to do something different than the year before. Yeah, they might want to do a white shirt every year as a giveaway or a hat, but they want something new and different. And this is where my staff, we're just walking the roads, just touching everything, finding out what it costs so that we can go back to our outing refs and say, this is what we've got. We've got 5, 10, 20, hopefully different items. So the first one on my list was Doc Murphy belts. It's Jack Turana. He started belts JT Reed about 6 years ago with his brother. That kind of spun off into a bunch of different directions, and now he's back with Doc Murphy, and it's a new belt that it's pretty cool. It's got kind of that washed, worn look, but what was really cool to me was Jack said he can be on site with an event. Every person can pick out the design they want. So we got a 144 player outing. They can then make those belts on site to be handed back to the golfer after the event. And this is the quote he gave me. I'm just taking it from him. I don't know that I have any backup that he's done it, but that's what he told me. This was the discussion we had. Pretty wild little thing that if somebody can come up and say, I want the American flag, I want skull and crossbones, and I want my initials repeating on this belt, they take it all down in this color and they go and make it, when they're done, that thing's boxed up and ready to go. It's a great little thing.
$0 too, they're pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, so it's like a great margin maker. Again, I haven't seen anything outside of the show, but I thought it was a great little piece. I think most people have heard of Yeti, the Yeti cups and coolers. Certainly very popular with my membership. They've gotten into golf. They're opening accounts. I've spoken with some people. You can logo them. You can leave them blank. The margin with no logo is great. The margin with a logo obviously shrinks a little bit, but the fact that you can do your club logo, you can do the outing logo, whatever it is on those, I think is a great little offering, especially since it's such a hot item with the public, which is sometimes hard to get. So another company along those lines is Swell, S-W-E-L-L, Swell bottles. When I spoke with them, I don't think they get it quite like Yeti yet, but I think the feedback they took was good. Their minimums were like 100 with one color with the same logo. Works great for an outing, doesn't work well for my shop, but I think they took that feedback and realized to get into some shops and get more exposure, they're gonna need to work around on that. So those were a couple items that I thought were really great for outings that are kind of pretty easy, non-sized. Yeah, right, they're over in New York. I think they were in Europe. Then there's some other miscellaneous items that I've used or am using. YourLeaderboard.com. I have never used them for an event. They do events where they essentially make large banner scoreboards for you where you write on them. They're a great presentation. What I'm working on them with right now is a junior achievement board that would be one of these reusable boards where you can erase the names and move them, but that we post up for our juniors as they progress through different levels, and then you can see their names moving along the board. with scores and upcoming events and such. But they're great to work with. They do the mock-ups for you. You write back on the mock-ups. They send it right back to you, and then they'll get these boards to you in 2 days out, and they'll send you even up to 1 day out. Probably have to pay a little more expedited shipping on that, but their boards are great. They're getting into trophies. We don't really do a lot of trophies, but I thought it was a pretty great thing if you're just trying to mix it up at the club a little bit.
What do you know a price point on these?
It kind of depends on what size you're looking for. I've got a large scoreboard outside our locker room, so it'd be kind of one of these really massive boards.
That's a 93 by 47, in case you can't see that.
I can't.
Yep.
That board, probably going to be about a $600 board. Now we're going to use that for multiple years. Have it set up out there for the summer, be able to take it in, put it back out the next year.
Oh, you can write, so it's
two
erasable, you're saying?
Yeah, so they have two different types of boards. One that you might get for your annual member guest. It's a one-time deal with names on there, and you're going to use it. And then we're going to get one that's a reusable board with blank spaces, so we can write Steve Scott as he passes level 1, and then as he passes level 2, Steve Scott gets erased off level 1. He moves over to level 2, so that when we come back in 2018, Steve Scott's still there on level 2, and we can see these juniors moving across. The juniors, they're going to be proud to see their name moving across where they get to the last level. So we think it's going to be a home run, but I think that spending $600 on a scoreboard that you're going to use for multiple years isn't too bad. It's our 125th anniversary at Greenwich Country Club, so we're trying to find different ways to kind of promote that and do something commemorative for our members. And Kitty Keller ornaments is one of them. It's a high-end ornament. It sells for roughly $45, but it's really looks great. They're great to work with the artwork. I did one 2 years ago, just as a first hit. I sold all of them. The members loved it. It was something new and different. We did an image of the clubhouse on there with the logo on the other side saying Greenwich Country Club. Just a nice way to support, to showcase your club at home. So we're looking at doing one for our 125th. They're a 50 ornament minimum when you do one, but for our 125th, we're discussing as a club doing one for every member. So we'll certainly pass by that minimum, but they've done them for so many clubs in the country, and they do so many different designs that it's really great, and they're a great company to work with. And then one of the last ones I wanted to kind of hit on was, I know I'm always trying to find a way to improve pace of play, and I don't know that this is the solution, but it was certainly a different idea. It's a company called Course Ranger. Now, the one thing I'll say with this is you'd have to get your golf committee and membership to buy into this, but they've created a system where their bag tag, so you'd get a bag tag that you'd have to put on everybody's bag that has a chip inside of it that triggers these different stations along the way. And they have kind of these stoplight type system where members would then see this thing and it would alert them whether they're on par with time, okay with time, or behind with the red, yellow, and green system. The guy, Peter, is going to be coming to Greenwich at the end of this month, maybe, if the snow melts, and we're going to go out on the course and look at it. I have some concerns about visually what these pieces would look like on the course, but to me, I think it could be great because some of the negatives is when your staff has to interact with people and tell them they're slow, that doesn't ever go over too well. Nobody really loves that conversation. And if people are able to get that feedback free without us getting in there, I think that it could work out really well. This company's up and coming. They're trying to get started, so they're also trying to make some, I'd say, negotiating deals with the first year where either the price will be cut in half, maybe none at all outside of the equipment aspect, but they're trying to get on property. They're from the UK, so they're trying to integrate into the US. But I think that it's got potential to be a game changer if it all works out. Maybe the last one I'll talk about is Steve wanted me to talk about nutrition. I'm not exactly the perfect one for that. That's why I'll start with the Chef's Cut jerky. They were great. I saw them at the show. They're really easy to work with. I've emailed with the with the rep Dave, who I've been in contact with. I don't generally carry food in the shop. We've got extensive food and beverage in the clubhouse, so I don't really want to conflict, but to have bags of jerky that guy can just grab as they go out is kind of a low level thing for me to do. The price point's really easy. The investment they want you to do, 72 bags. You know, if you do the small bags, you're looking at about $160. You do the big bags, you're looking at like $2.25. I mean, it's not going to hurt anybody whether or not they sell or not. If they don't work, I'll eat them. But it's you know, good source of protein and such out on the course. So I think that's kind of an easy one without getting into the food market too much.
They're not dry either. They're like, I don't know. You guys ever had these? Anybody? Yeah.
They're really good.
I love them.
One of my guys had a sample of them and then went and got a competitor, say from the supermarket or something, and said that they thought the competitor had always been really good, and then once they had this, they thought this was far better. So I thought it's just a nice little add-on to a golf shop without really any overhead. And then Par Bar, you know, just a great easy one. I know that when I play, I tend to carry granola bars in my bag, just so that in the middle of a round, if I need something quick, just to keep me full, or you know, try and keep my energy level up, this is a great way to do it. You know, before I tee off, I always stick a little bit of food in the bag. Par Bar is a great one. Doesn't take up any space, won't make the caddy feel it, and you know, being a sponsor on top of it doesn't hurt for the section. So, you know, those are some of my thoughts and review of the show. I'd certainly love to hear from each of you. You know, I'll give you my email. I'm always looking for more ideas for the shop, for outings, member gas, men's and women's. I'm always looking to try to put out new and different ideas so that when our guests come to the club, they're always blown away with what we've got to do. So I'm always working hard in that arena. So if you guys got something that I missed, please, by all means, send it to me. I look forward to it.
Great. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, anybody have any
I was
questions?
just say, I'm actually with VPAR, but I used to be the head of sales for the PGA show, so I don't know if you guys are aware, but the company that runs the show is local. They're in Connecticut.
Yep.
I'm sure they would come down to your meetings if they haven't already. I think they come to some of the section meetings, but they know all the products and services, so you can certainly hook up with them and say, hey, I'm looking for this, this, and this, and they can probably guide you to some of what's hot and new kind of things.
Perfect. It's great.
Anybody have any ideas, things they saw at the show, and accessories, apparel, anything that was really outstanding to them?
Andrew, my assistant was down there, Jeff Sullivan. He found a company called Zeus Batteries.
Mhm.
So nice counter display, an incredible price point based upon what a CVS for rangefinder batteries, the CR2s and the lithiums.
Yeah.
I think you're saving, got 80% plus on each battery.
Yeah,
So, pretty good program.
Same thing. One of my guys brought that back to me actually last fall. I forget where they were, but they saw it. I'm sure that everybody gets that question of, do you have this battery? And no, I don't have a C10 just hanging around. But kind of a bad answer of, no, I don't have it. So he brought it back and said, look, this is the company. It's a display. It's probably about that big. If you don't have that much counter space, you probably got too much stuff in the shop. So that you stick it up there, and when you do get those people coming in, yeah, we got it. It's right here. It's this one. It's that one. Whatever it is, and really easy company to work with too. They know what they're doing. It's kind of a small niche, but it's again, like you said, it's a low overhead investment to fulfill your members' needs.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Yeah, Andrew, you have a lot of good ideas about different things in the shop and different companies, right? Which I think is really good. I like that a lot. How do you find these companies?
Well, part of it is the lead up to the PGA show. I go on the PGA show site,
Right.
and I literally look through the entire listing. And some of the companies aren't going to really hit for me, but I make notes. And so when I go to the show, I have about a 5-page agenda of items that I'm going to look through. And you know, those ones that kind of hit my eye on the website, I go by those and touch it, feel it, ask questions
There's a
about
lot of
it.
prep work.
But then when I'm there, I literally walk every aisle and look at every booth. I look at the new inventions. I go everywhere just to make sure that I've at least seen it. So when somebody brings it up, I'll go, yeah, I do know about it. I might not know everything about it, but I'll at least be able to know where to go to get more information. So I spend I spend 8 to 6 on the floor throughout for the first 2 days of the show and make sure that I'm just covering the whole territory.
Need some comfortable shoes.